What's up and welcome back to a new video here on the MTG Arena YouTube channel. My name is Ashlizzlle and today is another incredible day because we get to play with some new cards from the latest Magic the Gathering set, Edge of Eternities, in the early access event here. And I wanted to play with a lot of new cards, but also play one of my favorite decks in Standard and seeing how it plays out, you know, post-rotation, because rotation will be happening alongside Edge of Eternities, meaning 4 sets will be going out of Standard. And the format gets a little bit of a massive shake-up. So I wanted to see how the Selesnya Cage deck would survive, including some new cards from Edge of Eternities that happen to have incredible synergy as well. So the whole idea behind the Selesnya Cage deck is kind of like a Selesnya Go Wide deck list that also works with the Collector's Cage as one of the best cards in a deck. It's a 2-mana artifact with Hideaway 5. For 1 and a tap, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. And if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may play the Exalted card without paying its mana cost. So your goal is to kind of go wide and really get that Cage activation going as fast as you can. Now, some of the best cards we can hit with the Collector's Cage to put into play would be something like Overlord of the Mistmoors, that 7-mana 6/6 Avatar horror that makes 2/1 insects when entering or attacking. You can also cast it for its impending cost on 4 mana, so that works really nicely with the curve. But it makes one of the best targets put under the Collector's Cage because you can get a 7-drop onto the battlefield as fast as turn 3, for instance. But also something like Elspeth Stormslayer, which is capable of putting humans on the battlefield and also doubling tokens for you. And the doubling of tokens is really good in a deck list like this because we are playing a lot of tokens. This is also why we're playing with the new Exalted Sunborn from Edge of Eternities. This is a 5-mana 4/5 creature with flying and lifelink, and if 1 or more tokens will be created under your control, twice as many of those tokens are created instead. Now, normally I don't think I would play this card if it's just a 5-drop, but what makes the card super playable and incredibly good in this deck list is that it has that warp ability. So it's an additional cost. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost, exile at the beginning of the next end step, then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. So the greatest thing about this, I mean, there's many reasons why this is good. Doubling tokens is really sweet. Like I said, we have those Overlord of the Mistmoors that makes tokens. You have something like Sandstorm Salvager. When it enters, you create a 3/3 colorless Golem token. Pawpatch Recruit. If you have Offspring, you make a Pawpatch Recruit Offspring token. You could double that. There's also another new card we'll get to in a second, which is Diadrin, capable of removing 2 1/1 counters or a 1/1 counter from 2 different creatures. And then you create a 2/2 colorless robot and you also draw a card. So that's also capable of making tokens, and the new Cosmic Red Zenith also. But back to the Exalted Sunborn, what makes the card so good is the fact that doubling tokens, but also the warp cost. You can get a 4/5 on the battlefield, which is really great at getting you to that Collector's Cage, you know, ability of having 3 different creatures with different powers. So that's been really, incredibly impressive for me. And if you get yourself in a spot where the Exalted Sunborn is a card that you're playing as you activate the cage, and you have an Overlord on there, for instance, you get 4 insects out of that, which is really, really incredible. But back to more new cards, Cosmic Red Zenith. I think this is an incredibly strong card. 3-mana 2/4. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose 1, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, or put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. I think this is so neat in this deck because it does both things that we are looking for. It goes wide, and it's also payoff for going wide. And that is also incredibly strong in this Cage deck list. Whereas Elspeth Stormslayer does something similar, where she puts 1/1 counters on the entire battlefield. With the 0 ability, you also have Restless Prairie as one of the lands, which gives to other creatures you control +1/+1 until the end of turn when the land attacks. And Cosmic Red Zenith being able to also pump up the board after you cast your second spell, which is pretty easily doable, as there's a lot of cheap cards in the deck list. Just feels like an incredible pickup for the deck list. And of course, if you work with the Exalted Sunborn and you have a Cosmic Red Zenith that triggers, you could also get yourself 4 human tokens, which is pretty neat. So back to the Diadrin 2, I mentioned it very briefly as well. X, a green and a white, you get a 0/1 legendary artifact creature with trample, and Diadrin enters with a number of 1/1 counters on it, equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. So this card will always be a 2/3, but you can also put more mana into it and give it more counters. Whenever you attack, you may remove a 1/1 counter from each of 2 creatures you control, and if you do, draw a card and create a 2/2 colorless robot. So ways for us to put 1/1 counters on creatures: the Collector's Cage, of course, Cosmic Red Zenith, Sandstorm Salvager's activated ability can put a 1/1 counter on tokens you control, and Elspeth Stormslayer is also capable of putting 1/1 counters onto the battlefield. Pawpatch Recruit, if you get the triggered ability, does the same thing. So it feels like really good synergy in there too. And of course, if you're capable of making robots, it's sweet. It's a little bit of card advantage, and if you have ways to double tokens, you get more robots and you're even happier. Now, another new pickup for this is the Seam Rip. This is a 1-mana enchantment. When it enters, you exile target non-land permanent opponent controls, mana value 2 or less, until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. This is a great pickup for the deck because the Selesnya or the Cage decks are also Brightglass Gearhulk deck list, because there's a lot of 1-drops in here. Gearhulk is just like a great card to like tutor something up. When it enters, you can search your library for up to 2 artifact, creature, or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less. So you can grab yourself some interaction. We used to always have Dustrose Reliquary, but now we also have access to Seam Rip, which is really nice, and can grab a wider variety of permanents. Dustrose Reliquary only hits artifacts and creatures. This can hit like any non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. So that could hit like, you know, enchantments or whatever that you're looking to get rid of. So that's been great as well. Now, one of the things about Selesnya with rotation is, of course, we did lose some very good lands. Selesnya is kind of one of the losers from rotation when it comes to the mana base. So the Pain lands are gone, the Fast lands gone, and we don't have a shock in return. However, we still have Starting Towns, we still have the Verges, and the Restless Prairie also still makes a great man land. So it's not too bad. And I'd say the deck is still very much like playable, even though, you know, you don't have a new land and you did lose 2 lands. But, you know, that's just my opinion on that, because I don't really feel like it's much difference. But yeah, you also have like Llanowar Elves that really help, and the mana isn't like super demanding outside of the Brightglass Gearhulk. But that's kind of what we're working with. A lot of new pickups for Selesnya Cage. Really excited to try the Exalted Sunborn. I think Cosmic Grand Zenith is a natural, like, incredible addition to the deck list. And Seam Rip is a really cool piece of removal. And Deodrin is just an incredibly cool legendary creature that I think we could really take advantage of the abilities in a deck like this. So let's check it out into gameplay that is coming up right now. But of course, don't forget to subscribe to the MTG Arena channel before we get started here, because there are some other fantastic creators on here that'll provide you with really cool videos. And if you want to check out some more of my content, check that out over on youtube.com/Ashlizzlle. Thank you, Woodsy, for allowing me to make another video, and let's get started. All right, well, this looks pretty good. I mean, I rarely pass up on a turn 1 Llanowar Elf, like ever. So we'll see what this is going to do for us. Let's play the Llanowar Elves. I'll say hello back. How polite, how kind. But this is looking pretty good. Curious to see what they're playing outside of just maybe like the Boros Lobster. I really do like that card. Some artifact synergy in there when it enters. I mean, discard a card, you do draw 2 cards. Okay. Interesting. Let's do... Let's see, because I'm gonna need double white to cast the Gearhulk, so we may just be better off doing Prairie here and just playing another Llanowar Elves. I could use a Llanowar Elves to take out this Nesting Bot. I don't know if that's worth it though. I don't think I wanna do that. We'll just see what they're like, because I also don't know what my opponent's playing. We're in the early access streamer event right now, so anything can happen. People can have some really, really cool brews. Nope. I'm just gonna take that. Just gonna take that. The Boros mana looks so good right now, though. Definitely one of the winners. Yeah, it's just like artifact synergies. Okay. And this is an exile artifact card from your graveyard. 1 counter this creature. It goes about any target. Okay. I'm just gonna slam Brightglass Gearhulk here and see what we can find. We're gonna see if we can grab the new card Seam Rip. I think that is a pretty good one against what my opponent is playing. Maybe I'll grab 2 of them even. Yeah, I may just do that. I'm just gonna grab 2 Seam Rips. I could do this and get rid of one of these. Is that worth doing? At least I can't interact with it now. That may just be worth it. Alright, so we're gonna put it on the Gearhulk. And then we'll fight Rust Harvester. Yeah, I've been wanting to build a deck around Rust Harvester myself. I'm just not sure what direction to go in with it, so it's gonna be interesting to see what the opponent does here. Sheltered, alright. I have the Seam Rips, so that's going to be a pretty good answer for that. At least. I got more. But wait, there's more? Because one of the things is, like, if I get that Brightglass Gearhulk back, I get that incredibly strong ETB effect again and stuff. Sure. That's pretty cool. It's a good turn. Anyway. Anyway, let me get rid of it real quick. Yes, I'll pay the ward. Alright, alright. Take action. I'll grab like a Paw Patch and a Dustrose Reliquary. I also do have the Vel'Gavul's Lair in here because the Selesnya mana has become a little bit worse. A lot worse. We don't get a shock. We've lost Pain Lands and we lost the Fast Lands. So Selesnya is definitely one of the losers of like standard rotation. But, you know, you can adapt. As you can see, we still have Verges. We have the Manland that's really good. There's other things that you can work with. I'm kind of looking to see if I can find a Cosmogranite Zenith. That would be really nice. Okay, I guess we'll have to settle with an Overlord. I guess. Not too bad either, is it? Sure. Yeah, any of the new cards would be really sweet to find though. Diadrin, Zenith, Exalted Sunborn, which would be incredible with this Overlord, if I could get to it. But the new cards are being a little bit shy, I'm afraid. Just a little bit shy. I'll just go ahead and swing with everything here. We can close this game out. That's fair. But unfortunately, I can also still put it out of range. Actually, I didn't even do the math if I had lethal or not. Okay. Just in case. Imagine if I was one short. Oh well. Alright. Looking pretty good so far. I think we're in a nice spot to win, but one of us playing a cool deck. The Selesnya player, I am pretty jealous of their mana base. Tezzeret, really cool card. I've played a couple Tezzeret brews already. That was really fun. Market Gnome? Alright. I haven't ulted Tezzeret yet, yo, but the second the set comes out on Arena, you know I'm gonna try. Alright, so that should be GG's. Let's give it something with Trample. That should be GG's. Alright, let's not stall it much further. Let's just swing. Here we go. Pretty, smooth gameplay there. No complaints. Alright. I mean, it's tempting because of the cage, but we don't really have a whole lot of, like, else going for us. I will try it, though, because I'm on the play, so it's a bit more forgiving. Let's give it a little high. Hold on. There we go. So, let's go... Exalted Sunborn's cool. We can do some fun stuff with that. Let's stun the cage here, though. An Overlord. Alright, I'll take it. So, if we can actually activate that cage, we get ourselves another Overlord of the Mistmores, which would be really, really awesome. We'll see how this plays out. I feel like there's definitely a shot for this hand to be a bit too slow, but we'll see how it plays out. Let's do Paw Patch Recruit first here. So we do have the Cosmogranite Zenith here. I hope I can set up a situation with like 5 mana where I can really take advantage of that, but to be determined. I think the greatest thing we can do next is warping the Exalted Sunborn and using it as a way to activate the Collector's Cage. Just ignore that. That'd be great. We'll see if there's interaction and stuff, though. Yeah, that's a Legion Extruder. No! Because that was a really cool turn. Coming up. But we can see if we can generate even more value by setting up the Cosmogranite Zenith first here. Should we do that, or should we just go for a Gear Hulk? I mean... I'm tempted. I'm tempted because obviously I would like to play with a new card. So let's do Cosmogranite Zenith here. I have a swing. I can get it to 4 power. Alright. Let's see what happens. I really do like the deck that my opponent's playing. It's the Junt, like weapons manufacturing. I love it. I had so much fun playing that. Actually considering that to be the video that you're watching right now, but I was like, you know, this kind of also plays a lot of new cards and I think has a lot of competitive like potential to it as well. Okay, let's see. I'm just hoping the Cosmogran's Zenith survives. Alright, alright. Does this bait something out? Let's see. No. Interesting, okay. Not sure what's gonna go on here. Because if I go Exalted Sunborn, I don't have enough different power creatures now. That's kind of on me for doing it like that, but we can just slam the Overlord, perhaps? Perhaps just Brightglass Gearhulk. Take action. Get ourselves Seam Rip, and perhaps just the Valgaful Slayer as well. Like with something in play, we'll make that green. And I think I have a potential to just swing with this little like trample guy. If that trades, I'm okay with it, I think. Sure. Yeah, the trade's fine. We're gonna have a pretty big turn coming up. I'm not gonna mess it up this time. Well, not that we mess it up. I mean, putting a Gearhulk in play is never a bad thing. Krenko? Ooh, that's the cool, like, MKM Krenko. Very nice. Alright, let's do this, guys. We're gonna warp Exalted Sunborn. We're going to activate on the Brightglass Gearhulk, because that's sticking around. Overlord. We get the Cosmogram trigger, which we're gonna go for tokens, I think. Yes. So we're gonna get double those. Then we're gonna get double the Overlord. And that's not bad. That's not bad, I would say. Worked out pretty well. Let's see, we can just swing here. I mean, we should just be in a position to just win the next turn, I think. But that was a really great showing of Exalted Sunborn and what it can do for the deck list. Really sweet. Still ways that we could lose. I mean, they're out there. That was really awesome. Good game. All right, onwards to game number 3. Ooh, we have the new Deodrin in there. Really curious to see how that card plays in here. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment, but I think it should work pretty nicely. You know, it works with 1/1 counters. We do have capabilities, like strong possibilities of putting 1/1 counters on things. With the Bobbet's Recruit and all that. Also with the Cosmogran Zenith and the Elspeth. So I think things are possible with that card. So I'm going to do value 0, but it should still enter with 2 1/1 counters on it. That's pretty neat. Make a little robot out of that. Draw a card while you do it. It'd be cool. It'd be really cool. So we're against Orzhov's Sacrifice. Love that, love that. Ooh, it's Cosmogran's. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. I may want to do that. Okay, I'm gonna swing here first. Ooh, we want to do that. Yeah. Because we also have like the Exalted Sunborn. You can warp it. And work with the Cosmogrand. This is nice. This is nice. Card is so good. Hope it survives. Hope I didn't jinx it. We can also use it. Oh, that could be really interesting. Okay. So if I go Exalted Sunborn, Paul Batch Recruit. Let me have a look. Alright, let's warp this. And let's play a single Paw Patch so we get the Cosmic Red and Zenith triggers. Now I'm thinking I kind of want to work with the 1/1 counters to see what Adrian has to offer for us. Just out of curiosity and like figuring out do some cool stuff with this card. And also I have Exalted Sunborn. So I should be able to get 2 robots and a card. Hey. Alright, alright. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I actually, like, when I was building the deck, initially I wasn't so sure how to feel about the Exalted Sunborn. I was wondering if it was, like, to win more. That's so wrong. It just wins. It's not win more. It just wins. That is so awesome. Yeah, my opponent's clearly looking to cast a Raise the Past here, shoving a bunch of, or surveilling a bunch of things into the graveyard. Of course, he's taking advantage of the new Umbral Color Zealot, which I am such an incredible fan of. Oh my god, it's happening, I think. Yeah. It sure is. So what are they getting? Voice of Victories. I mean, it could be worse. Technically, it could be worse. I'll just block the token, because at least that can be brought back. If I block the Blood Witch, I'm just getting that back anyway, so... Unless they're bluffing me. But this very much reads like a Raise the Past to me. Right. Yeah, that's a lot of Surveil triggers. We're not the only go-wide deck list in this household. Uh-oh. Gorehound. Yeah, they're just gonna like keep filling up the graveyard too. Hey, it's another Exalted Sunborn. I mean, putting a nice, like, big lifelink creature in play isn't bad. Kinda want to get more Cosmic Red Zenith value, though. Let's go Bright Glass Gearhulk. And I think I'm just gonna grab both Seam Rips. Or maybe one Reliquary because of potentially Sephiroth? I'm thinking about Seam Ripping the Vengeful Blood Witch. Because that's kind of how they deal a lot more damage to me. Gonna work with 1/1 counters? Or tokens? And if I go 1/1 counters, I can take advantage of Deodrin again. Let's grab the Blood Witch. And what should we swing with? Alright, I think I'm gonna go like this. If I swing with these guys, I can just take the counter off here and off of here. Hey, oh, the synergy is actually really nice. No, I'm really impressed with that. I really wasn't sure about the Deodrin. I was like, am I just supposed to play Voice of Victory instead? But the value looks really good. I quite like that. Okay, obviously the challenge is for us to like break through this wall of like tiny creatures. And one good way for us to do that is getting Elspeth Stormslayer, which hopefully we could grab to like a cage or something. Okay, this gotta be another Race to Past. Oh no. Brace yourselves. Okay. Yeah, afraid it's gonna be. I mean, also flying is good. Like, I'm gonna see if I can set up the Exalted Sunborn next. Right. Yep, that's all good. Everything denied, but they get some death triggers. At least we did a great job getting rid of the Blood Witch with the Seam Rip, because else we would have taken a lot of damage, so... And we still have more removal as a backup. That's good. All right. And of course, the Breathless Gearhook is also a great creature here with like the trample and all that. If you can grow that card as well, we're in a good spot. So swinging with the Snarling Gorehound. That's weird. I'm going to just block it, these two. Could be another Raise the Past. Oh my god. Well, one of the greater things about playing a Gearhulk deck is that if you're expecting your opponent to have a lot of graveyard hate or like a lot of graveyard synergies, you can just shove in graveyard hate, right? Like one of these like Seam Rips or a Duskos Reliquary or any of the other creatures in the deck could be a Soul Guide Lantern or something like that, or maybe a Ghost Vacuum, even though Ghost Vacuum usually is too slow against them. That's what you have access to, so... Okay, I think they kept another Raise the Past on top. Doesn't end. But yeah, that's the flexibility there is really, really sweet, so... I don't really know. I think I'm just gonna play this Exalted Sunborn. I think what's most likely... I actually think I should have... Yeah, I think I misplayed it now. In hindsight, I didn't see the Umbral Zealot. Because I'm 99% sure they just kept like a Blood Witch on top and they're just gonna kill me. Can I find a way out of this? Because I'm like, is it Raise the Past? It certainly isn't. Well, it actually definitely still could be, because they could literally just sacrifice everything to Umbral Zealot. It's probably not a Raise the Past. They fill up everything, Umbral Zealot digs them to another Raise the Past, they go crazy. Like, I think there's not much we can do here. I hate to say it. But I think we're cooked. I might just need to find an untapped Plains here, maybe? Ooh, that's the cage, that stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the opponent, whatever they put on top, it's gonna be good enough for them. Like, the Surveilling is just so powerful. But we'll see how we die. Hopefully it's a Raise the Past and not a single... No, it was a Blood Witch. Interesting. They might have another, or like they're gonna sacrifice a whole board, get more like Raise the Past value. Perhaps it was both, right? Okay. You know, it's fine, guys. We just got hit by 3 copies of Raise the Past in the top 25 cards. Yeah, good game, good game. You got it, man. Not a whole lot we can do about that, honestly. I'll just say good game. You got it. I do love that deck, though. So I'm not even mad. Well, this is a rough one. Really suffering under the new Selesnya mana with this. I don't think we can keep that. We need some green up in here. I don't think this does enough necessarily. But the other option, instead of, you know, we have to mold a 5, which would be so much worse, I think. So let's go like this. Mold a 5 would be worse than keeping this and seeing what happens to it. Nesting Bot. Alright. I could Seam Rip that. I don't think it's worth it. The Lobster. Oh, and we're gonna have to be the evil ones getting rid of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Very interesting to see like how my opponent's deck's gonna be built, because I think the Lobster is really fun. It'll be one of my cards out of the set that I would consider to be like what I would consider for a commander. It's just so silly. Alright, the Rust Harvesters are here. I'm kind of needing the Llanowar Elves. Just gonna have to pass. 2 mana and a Dream. Not blocking any of that. There it is, Weapons Manufacturing. I could Seam Rip it, that's pretty exciting. Let's make sure that our mana taps right here. We'll go Cage. Oh, it's Elves within a Cage. Grandma Cage, for those of you that watch watch my stream. This is our time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much advantage my opponent's deck tries to take of weapons manufacturing, but I know it's a very good card, so... Oh no! Mightland or Elves? Okay, so I'm glad we got rid of it, because that's... The Legion Extruder is probably one of the best ways to, activate or, like, sacrifice the munition tokens the weapons manufacturer makes. I'm in a bad spot here, though. I can't even lie. I am not in a good spot at all. Because I need mana. Yeah, that's tough. I wonder if they're gonna go after the pop etch. Okay. No, this is a bit sad, you guys. 2 lands is not really gonna cut it. A bit of a low roll. Okay. No. GG's. Mana issues. It happens. It's part of the game, unfortunately. Alright, so at least we have 3 mana here, which is really neat. So let's keep that. I'm gonna give a hello. It takes me a second. There we go. Start off with the tap land. I wonder if this is mono green. Pretty cool. Let's do our friend Deodrin again. Sick. I'm trying to figure out like what the art is. It looks like a skinny engine. I'm not sure. A skinny engine? Let's do some... Let's just do some Salvager here, because Salvager is also a way for us to put or counters on like tokens, so we could get like Deodrin value. This feels like baity. I'm not swinging. I think there's probably, if you're playing mono green, you probably have protection one way or another. Oh, I still Explorer. Uh-oh. It's like a Smuggler Surprise deck. Alright. Well, we better find some interaction quickly, or a way for us to pop off. That'd be nice. Guess that makes sense on this guy. I should probably start off by just swinging with this 3/3 here. It gets blocked to activate the Salvager. Works for me. Yeah, let's do Prairie, and I'll just play a Pop Etch Recruit. Okay. Sunborn with Salvager is something we have coming up next, making 2 3/3s. There's another one, yeah. The ramp goes crazy. The ramp goes crazy. I really want to find some, I don't know, like a Gearhulk or a Cage or an Elspeth. That'd be really nice. Ooh, that could go kind of crazy. Quick enough. Or I could also just hardcast Exalted Sunborn. Let's just warp it. Get ourselves some more 3/3s. Hopefully we can take advantage of it one or another. I could actually get myself more robots. Is that worth doing? I mean, if we're trying to win this by going wide, then yes it is, right? Because if I can just get myself in a position where we swing with Restless Prairie for a ton, This is obviously like this 3/3 is probably gonna die to like 2/2 force blocking it, which is okay. Alright, so I guess they want the lander token for like another landfall trigger and all. I get 2 of them though. Yeah, 20 life still. I need to break through this somehow. I gotta. Elspeth. We need you. I get pinged slowly. Crazy turn's coming up next. Tenic turning into card advantage here is so good. Okay. This could get really painful. Wow. Glacier Godmaw? Wow. Pretty cool. Yeah, not the best spot for us to find ourselves in, huh? This thing is kind of a problem. I'll have to like do some chump blocks as well. Probably go about it like this. Dustcrow's Reliquary. Well, that's nice at least. I've been looking for something like that. I think I might have to grab the Glacier Godmaw here. Let's get rid of one of these landers. I'm really just looking to find ways to fly over here. Okay. A cage would be sweet. Cage would be so sweet with an Elspeth. Please. Right. Alright, I think my recording stopped halfway. I'm so sorry for that. But we're so back. The World Shire entered, and a bunch of cards got milled, and a bunch of lands are available for play. So you didn't miss too much. I mean... I don't want to grow these guys. Let's just do Sandstorm Salvager, and like I can use this one to pump up these guys here. Yeah, my opponent just has like, I think they're just close to milling themselves. There needs to be like a win con here in the bottom 9 cards. You got a big roll sire though, that's cool, but... Swing with this here only. Activate it. Start doing a little bit of damage here. Okay. Oof. They're gonna ping me to death. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I alive at 1? Depends on like if there's another way to put a land in play. Maybe. Good game. Are we dead or alive? What's going on? I don't know. Four blockers. If I swing with Prairie, the highest things get blocked, which would be these. And then I swing for 8. Make that 11. 13. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough. Decline. We actually get through this? Hold on. Hold on. Crazy. Not sure. All that mana. I think they couldn't find their win con. Alright, GG's.